Hey people that are interested in cats, the paranormal and things. Right, it's a little bit of a sad one today because just looking at the little menace down there. Yeah, it's a bit of a sad one today because my gecko, not the leopard gecko, not her, my crested gecko has actually passed away. Now we don't know what's caused it because he at least gets sprayed morning and night every day without fail. You get he mostly has the where the fudge is it? I think it's pancure, or here it is, I can see it now. He usually has this. He has this every few days. Now, I used to give him live food as well, but majority of times he would leave it to the point they were running around and chirping away, which I didn't like. And I thought, oh, he'll probably eat it. No, half the time he never did. So I left him a few weeks without, in between each time, with crickets, and I'd give him smaller size because I thought, oh, maybe it's the size, maybe they're a bit too big for him, because apparently they can't be any larger than their mouths or something daft like that. Now this one, she's like a champ, this one, the leopard gecko, but the crested gecko, he didn't. All I can assume is maybe there was something up with him. I don't know. I've had him since he was a baby, and he's only lived about a few years, 3 or 4 years, something like that. So, to me, that is a very, very short time window for him to actually pass. Now, he wasn't my first gecko. I actually had a golden gecko years and years ago, and he lived to about 8. And considering I knew nothing that I did compared to what I know now, that was, to me, that was quite good, considering I would feed that one crickets as well. And there was none of these meals that you could make up then, and he would get sprayed twice a day as well, and he was in quite a tall enclosure, and he was left to do his own devices because he didn't like getting picked up, much like the crested gecko that I had too. I mean, I was actually preparing to actually upgrade his enclosure by stripping everything out and restarting it and putting in more live plants, since the other ones he'd actually crushed down by landing on them. And I was going to put some more because I was actually growing, these are all cutting off the planter. It was in there, this one, and there's another one here that's growing out quite a bit, and I was actually going to put them in there, change everything out. I'd even bought him a brand new hide, but one that hangs up, and a few other little things to put in there to give him more ways of exploring. And obviously I was going to put isopods in it again, new ones, and springtails, and you know, all the rest of it. I mean, this one had a was it membrane, and then oh, I forgot the name of the type of stones that you put at the bottom, which you filled, you know, you filled up with water and put the membrane over the top, then put like loads of soil on top. But unfortunately, yeah, I didn't really get to that, and I was actually getting everything together. I mean, it took me about a month just to get the enclosure, not the enclosure, the hide sent out for him, because any ones that I wanted were either stupidly expensive or they weren't available at the time. So I waited and got sent, and then I thought, right, I'll get this, that and the other together. And then when I came into him the other morning, I actually found out that he'd passed, and it was like, oh. So I always made sure he had water, and I always made sure there was droplets around his face or around the sides, all in the substrate to keep, you know, keep the humidity up. He had a UV light, there was plenty of heat in there, and I always checked the heat. And yeah, he's been doing great. The only thing that I can think was different was the actual food bowl that he's got. I think it was drying out the mixture that you make with the gecko diet. That would dry it out a lot quicker. But the one that he had, the actual suckers to the side of it, if I can find it, Let's see where it is. And you'd obviously stick it to the side, well, it would stick to the side of the glass, and then the actual plastic bowl will go inside it, and then you'd make the mixture, and you'd make it just a little bit watery, not too much. You'd make it a nice, you know, runny consistency, but not over the top, otherwise you wouldn't really get this full nutrition out of it. But it just helps it to stay the way it is longer before it starts going off and going hard and all that, because obviously you're meant to keep it in there for 24 hours and then give him a few days and then change it, you know, obviously change it out and then put fresh in, which I always did with him. But the one that he's got now had one of them horrible wooden type bowls, and it was on a better holder for it, because obviously this one just kept coming undone. I even actually took this out, gave it a good scrub. Obviously it needs washing again, and yeah, it's just wouldn't stick to the side, so it wasn't benefiting him because he likes it, you know, from a height off the ground. So that's the only thing I can feel that was different to how you know, how everything is. Other than that, it's something I didn't actually see coming, because he was always active in there and I'd see him jumping around. I mean, he'd do as usual. As soon as it was day, it'd be round the back. And I've got 2 long pieces of cork bark. And in fact, I'll show you in a minute. And he would hide behind there. But eventually, you know, I was always looking out for, you know, new hides and everything. And sometimes you'll get them and then you find out the biggest pile of rubbish going in and be like, oh, that's no flipping good. So I was always looking around for something, and I actually found something. And yeah, in fact, I'll show you what I bought. Here we go. This is the one that was for him. So obviously you'd suspend it from the top of the enclosure, and then, oh, because I put this all in here. Has like a little wooden bridge or ladders. You know, I pushed this in really well because I actually put it in a different enclosure ready to set up, and I thought, yeah, I'll do this, do that. Didn't happen. I'm trying to get this flipping thing out. So whoops, that's it, I've done it now. So there's the actual hide. It was like a coconut one, and then obviously you'd have it like that with a little rope, and then that was suspended from the top. And then it would still have the cork in there, but it would also have this. It's plastic, but it's not brilliant, but it would have done the job for the bottom if it wanted to go and hide somewhere at the bottom as well. And obviously I was growing the plants, trying to get them bigger, so I could put them back in there and put them on the sides to, you know, make it look a bit more natural and more inviting. But obviously beyond, you know, beyond anything I could do to help him, he passed away, and I'm gutted, because I knew it. I didn't, well, I mean, I knew what I was going to do, and I had it all planned out. Oh, I'm going to do this, do that, and then it's like, oh my days, why? So I'm not rushing out to buy another one, but I'm not going to get other stuff either. It's just going to be one of them. If I do get another one, I'd rather it be a rescue. I'd rather rescue one, which I think would be fair. I'm not bothered with if it's male or female. I mean, the crested gecko I had, yeah, exactly, was a male, so I wasn't too bothered. It's not like I'm going out and intending to breed them. So I thought, right, yeah, I was happy. Like, yeah, it's a male. This one, I think we've worked out that's a female. And Forest, obviously she's not a gecko, but she's still a type of lizard, reptile. It's a little girl with an attitude. But, you know, I spent quite a lot of time talking to them and making sure they've got food, and obviously trying not to overfeed them, because sometimes it's too easily done, because you'll look at them and you're like, oh, look at that little face. Oh, how can you refuse them? And then, bam, you accidentally overfeed them, and I didn't want it to happen. So, yeah. I'm going to wait. At the moment, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to actually make it up and just have it to the point where it's, you know, doing its thing, you know, with the isopods, the springtails, the plants, and just leave it for a while. And then when one comes along, then at least it's all set up. Or do I just put these bits and pieces in and give them to Smog, which I'm not too sure whether she would use them, and I'm afraid of overcrowding her enclosure, because yeah, it might be too much. But I'm not getting rid of them. I'm definitely keeping hold of them, because I just like the idea. Just thought, that's cute. I like it. And it is. It really is cute. So I'm sorry this week is a sad one. Hopefully next time will be a bit more of a uplifting, happier one. As you can see, there's a UV light at the top. It only recently been changed. And yep, it's dry as a bone now. Just left it to just dry out completely. There's a bit of a branch, the two logs, and you would either go down in there or go down the back of here and hide. And this is what I mean about the bowl. Obviously it's all dried up in there, but this, it seemed to dry up more. But this is quite a bit stronger. It isn't now since I pulled it. But yeah, it does look really icky. And that was why I was going to take it all apart, give it a good scrub out, and refresh it all up. I was actually looking for a taller one. But obviously in the meantime, I thought, you know what, I'll do this, do that. But there's just very little I can do about it. We've got many other factors going on. It's just a long list, so it's just not fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.